What's going on, everybody? It's DotBets. We're checking back in. We have our Week 11 Best Bet Show coming at you guys here on the Occupy Fantasy YouTube channel. Make sure before we dive in, you got to subscribe. You got to hit that thumbs up. That makes us want to do more and more videos, more and more content for you guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in every single week. One thing I would love to see, I want to see some more comments with our favorite bets and our favorite props, whatever you guys are on this week. I want to know. So throw those in the comments below. We appreciate that as always. Coming off of our week 10, we cooled off a bit. We were off of back-to-back sweeps in week 8 and 9. Week 10, we'll recap shortly. We had a slightly losing video last week. We hit our 7-point teaser, which was our third straight one. And if this is your first time tuning in, what we will go over, we'll give out it's either a spread or a total. It's going to be a total. Then you have our favorite prop bet of the week. Then we have our 7-point teasers, our 3-leg 7-point teasers that we have been on fire with. So before we do get going, as always, make sure you guys are tuning into the entire Occupy Fantasy YouTube channel, whether it be MMA, whether it be the NFL, whether it be NBA. The guys at Occupy Fantasy have you guys covered. So without further ado, let's go. All right, let's get a quick recap from our cooled off week 10. We went 1-2 for minus 0.9 units. Could have easily been in the green, but the Texans-Giants game, we had the over 41, ended at 40. Couple red zone turnovers for the Texans did us in there. As soon as I saw some fumbles in the red zone, I was like, oh gosh, this is going to be a sweat. And second half just couldn't get there. It ended at 40. And then Chubb just got bottled up, plus them being down multiple double digits the entire game. It felt like I was actually on the Browns myself personally, so I got a double whammy there. So yeah, I think he ended up in the 60s or so, but so didn't get to the 80 mark that I thought. It ended. We started at 78.5, which is a little advantageous why we do these videos a little bit earlier. It just didn't play out that particular week. It ended up, I think, 81 or 82 at some books. But then we had the 7-point teaser again, hits for our third straight week. Lions, Chiefs, and the Cardinals. So that was for 1.3 units. Got us some money back. So only lost 0.9 units, not the end of the world. As a total of all of these videos, we are 10-5 for plus 5.6 units. So if you have tuned in, you have cashed with us. I would love to hear from you guys in the comments what your favorite bet has been and what you guys have tailed and cashed with me on. So with that, let's get after our week 11 bets. And here's the first one. Okay, let's get after the first play of the week. We are going to go to the Indianapolis Colts and the Eagles. We're going to go with the under 45.5. So we've sweat out a couple unders. We've sweat out a couple overs. If you've tuned in to previous weeks, you'd think I'd be targeting a divisional under since those have been so profitable this year. But this matchup, I feel like it just screams the under. And we've seen a little buyback on the over. It was 44.5 this morning when I was looking, and it went up a whole point. So this line will fluctuate, I believe, as we get to Sunday. I'm hoping that it goes back down in our favor, but I'm grabbing it right here at 44 or 45.5 here on DK. These are just two very run centralized teams. They want to control the game through the run and have the time of possession. Do you watch the Eagles lose their first game of the year against the Commanders? The Commanders had no problem converting on third downs. I think they converted on 12 of 21 of them. And it was with Robinson and Gibson. So now you you factor in Jonathan Taylor, another week off of his he looked very, very healthy last week. And if he can continue to do that against his Eagles run defense that shouldn't be ran all over, but it has been, and it can be, and that's why they just went out and signed Ndamukong Suh, all types of other guys that they're trying to get, because they're going all in. They need to make sure that this game they clean that back up. But this screams the under in my eyes. Both teams have defenses in the top 10. The Colts, they are without Shaq Leonard, but they've still been able to limit both our opponents to under to a lot of unders in their game. Then we have the Colts giving up 20.3 points per game. Then you have the Eagles at 18.6. So those are both top 10 in the league. So you got all these types of stats that are just, it just feels like a slow down game, a more methodical, I know Hurts can throw the deep ball to Quez Watkins, but you got Matt Ryan back underneath the center. You don't know how much Jeff Saturday is going to trust Matt Ryan to throw the ball deep. We didn't see many deep balls last game. It was more, hey, let's get our ball to the best player, and that's Jonathan Taylor. So another couple stats that I really, really thought to pivot towards the under here is the pressure rate that I think the Eagles defense can get to Matt Ryan. The Colts have given up the most sacks in the league. The Eagles have a lot of sacks against their opponent. I want to say it's the third best in the league. So this defensive line versus the offensive line issues of the Colts should be a matchup nightmare. And I feel like this is just two teams that are going to either stick in the middle of the field or they're going to have long drives that end up with either 3 points or no points. So that's where I'm going with this game. Let me know what you guys think in the comments of the under here. But yeah, we're going to go Eagles, Colts under 45.5. All right, we'll get after our prop of the week. We are going to go to Minnesota with the marquee game of the afternoon. The Cowboys versus the Vikings. Two elite receivers going up against each other. And I'm going to go with the Dallas Cowboys wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, over 75.5, minus 115 over at DraftKings for 1 unit. And I will pull up the Acu prop radar, where it is very nice and simple to shop your lines. This is in the description below. Very simple feature. You can just click on the link and go to the betting tab, and you can pop up and you can search for any player that you would like. You can search for Justin Jefferson here, but I have it set up to search CeeDee Lamb. You can see all the available player props here on the left. So I'm going to click total receiving yards. It takes you right here and across the board at DK, at Caesars, and then BetMGM. It looks like it's over 75.5 across the board, minus 119, a little bit more juicy at Caesars. But I'm going to go. I went over at DraftKings. I went ahead, clicked bet now. It takes me right to my account. You sign in, boom, you can make that deposit or make the bet there. So make sure you check out this great feature that is over at OccupyFantasy.com. It's AccuProp Radar. Let's say that 5 times fast. But no, love this tool. I love it makes it super easy to shop the lines using this feature. So we'll take that away. But we're going to go for the following reasons. It is a perfect matchup. The matchup against the Packers last week sets this up perfectly. They got in rhythm. I know they didn't win the game, but I think that they can get back into rhythm with Dak another week healthy. CeeDee Lamb looked like a bona fide wide receiver 1 that he was last season. Now he's getting Dak a little bit more rhythm behind him. But he's hit this in 2 of 3 games, and especially the last 2, which is the most meaningful, with Dak Prescott under center. Then the matchup it's phenomenal. The Vikings give up the second most receiving yards in the league. Their run defense is great, but they allow you to throw on them, and especially in the slot. They give up, I think, top 5 in the league in slot receptions and completion rates to that position. And CD lines up there about 60% of the time with Dak under centers. And they move him around a little bit, but you're not going to be able to shadow him with Peterson whatsoever. You can take his receiving receptions. You can take an alternate line here of over 100. I think I might put him in some type of parlay to go off. But I really, really like this position for CeeDee Lamb. I'm going to be all over the over 75.5 receiving yards for 1 unit. All right, and we'll end it on our teaser streak. We are going to go for 4 in a row here. So that is our formula that it's been is 3 legs, 7-point teaser. What we're going to go to first, we're going to go to the Eagles-Colts game again. We're going to go and tease the Eagles down. We're going to go to the Patriots-Jets game, and we're going to tease the Jets up to 10.5. And then I'm going to do this. We're going to go to the Broncos-Raiders game and tease the Raiders up to +10. Plain and simple, I really think the Colts can make this a game. Eagles struggled to stop the run. Just can see this being a little bit of a closer game than the 7 spread that it currently is. So I'm teasing that down to a pick 'em. You go to the Jets-Patriots game rematch from a couple weeks ago where Patriots went into the Jets' house and won the game by 5. Now the line is Patriots at -3.5 at home. You pretty much flipped that line. I really, really like the Jets here to win outright. But I'm just going to put it up just in case. It's +10.5. And then it's hard for me to even fathom that I'm putting hard-earned money on this team. But come on, you can't get beat by double digits. You just can't whatsoever. I'm just hoping Derek Carr doesn't cry in the end of the post game or during the game anymore. So I'm just going to back the Raiders just to have some pride here and not get beat by double digits. It's a Broncos team that can for sure limit you offensively, but I think Josh Jacobs is the key here. I think they got to get him rolling on the ground, through the air, and play some good defense against Russell. Maybe Russell turns the ball over. But yeah, we're going to go Eagles, we're going to go Jets, and we're going to go to the Raiders, and we're going to go for 4 in a row. So if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you guys leave a comment below what your favorite bet of mine was and what your favorite bet of the week is. Love to hear from you guys, and appreciate you guys tuning in each and every Friday. So let's cash some tickets on Sunday. See you guys.